Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about lifesteal. This video will be the third video of my series, in-depth guide on equipments, and we have already talked about true damage and critical damage, so this video will be about lifesteal. Even though this is a very simple topic, I still decided to make a video on it because there are a lot of beginners here in the channel and I thought this video will be very useful for you. So first we'll be talking about what lifesteal is, and then I'll show you all the equipments that give you lifesteal, and then some advanced tips on when you should build lifesteal items and on which heroes you should use them. So if you find this video helpful and want to see more of it, make sure to support me by hitting the like and subscribe button. Now with no further ado, let's get right into the video. Just like the name suggests, lifesteal is taking your opponent's HP and making it your own while dealing damage to them. You can use the arrow mark on the right side of your screen to check how much lifesteal you have, and as you saw here I have 0%. And now I have bought some equipments that give me lifesteal, and see, my lifesteal is now at 25%. Now let me show you guys how lifesteal works. As you can see, I have 35% of HP left, and see, each of my normal attacks on Veera restores some HP for me. I'll zoom in now. So as you can see here, we are dealing damage to Veera, and that is indicated as 513 in red color on Veera, and below us you can see 128 in green color, and that is the HP we are getting every time we attack Veera. And since our lifesteal is at 25% of the damage that we deal to Veera is converted as HP and is returned to us. So the more percentage of lifesteal that you have, the more you will be able to steal HP from your opponent and convert it as your own. And here, since Lavel's passive is active, we shoot 3 bullets and each of the bullet deals 200 damage. So 25% of 200 is 50, so 50 HP returns to us every time a bullet lands on Veera. So this is what lifesteal is. Now let's talk about the equipments that can give you lifesteal. So Beast is the first equipment that should come to your mind when we talk about lifesteal. Beast provides you with 100 normal attack, and its unique passive is it provides you with 25% lifesteal. And there is nothing else about Beast. It only provides you with attack damage and lifesteal. So it's a very straightforward equipment that is only meant for lifesteal, and is also very cheap when compared to the rest of the tier 3 items, because Beast costs only 1700 gold while most of the tier 3 items cost more than 2000 gold. And one more very important thing that you should note is that Beast's unique passive gives you 25% lifesteal. So if you buy more than one Beast, you don't get more than 25% lifesteal. So for example, if you have 2 Beasts in your build, it doesn't mean that you will get 50%. This is a mistake that I see a lot of new players do. They will buy more than one Beast. I've seen players having 2 or 3 Beasts in their build. That only gives you 100 more attack damage and you won't get the unique passive. So never buy more than one Beast. No matter how many beasts you have on your build, you will only have 25% lifesteal. So now I have one beast in my build, and the remaining 5 are attack damage items like Glaive Sanctity, Rank Breaker, Devil's Handshake, Fafnir and Slick Sting. And now let's see how much lifesteal we get from Veera when we attack her. So before that, let's go and take some damage from the tower and get our HP down. And now since our HP is very low, see, we are dealing 1800 damage for each of our hit, and look at how much lifesteal we got. And even though Beast is very cheap when compared to the rest of the items, and it also provides you with lifesteal, it is not very popular now because there are other equipments that are better than Beast. So it's very rare to see a player using Beast on a marksman in mid and higher ranks because it's not a very good item right now. So now let's move on to the next item that can give you lifesteal. Fafnir's Talon is an equipment that is usually built for its powerful unique passive rather than its lifesteal, which is just 10%. So as you can see here, it gives you 60 attack damage, 30% attack speed and 10% lifesteal. So even though the lifesteal is very low, if you look at the unique passive, its Dragon Breath, normal attacks deal additional damage equal to 8% of the target's current HP. So first I'll explain what it means, and then I'll show you a clip of how it works. So a simple explanation for this is, you will be dealing more damage to enemies who have more health. So if the enemy is very low, the passive of this equipment will be dealing very low damage, but if you are attacking an enemy who is at full HP, you will be dealing a lot more damage. So before we go into the unique passive, first I'll show you the lifesteal that you get from Fafnir's Talon. So as you can see, each of my auto attacks are dealing damage to Veera, but you don't see any green color HP shown that is being restored to me. This is because we are getting very low HP and that is why it is not showing. But if you look closely at our HP bar, you will see that we are slowly gaining HP when we are attacking Veera. So that's the 10% lifesteal that we get from Fafnir's Talon. So now I'll show you guys the passive of Fafnir's Talon. As you can see, I'm just shooting one bullet, but we are dealing damage 2 times to Veera. So the second damage that pops up in red color numbers is the damage that you get from the passive of Fafnir's Talon. See, I am dealing 300 damage plus additional 200 and something. So that is the damage that we get from the passive of Fafnir's Talon. And the higher the HP of the opponent, the more the damage dealt by the passive. If you look carefully here, when Veera's HP is full, we are dealing 344 additional damage, but as her HP slowly drops down, we are dealing 280 and then it keeps going down. So the last equipment in the attack section that gives you lifesteal is the Bloodthirsty Bow. We also talked about this in our critical chance video. So the basic stats are it provides you 100 attack damage, 15% critical chance and 10% lifesteal. So again it's very low lifesteal, but the passive, that is Bloodthirst, it gives you 60% lifesteal for 3 seconds. So this is the most important lifesteal item and this is used by a lot of marksmen, and that is why Beast is getting outshined right now. So if you have this equipment on your build, there will be another button on your screen which you can use to turn on the ability of this equipment. So now I'll show you guys how much lifesteal you get when you turn on the ability. So the ability is back now and I'll turn it on and see, just 3 auto attacks and my HP is full again because it provides you 60% lifesteal, and the equipment basically also provides 10%. So if you have this item and you turn on the ability, you have a total of 70% lifesteal and just 3 auto attacks are enough to bring your HP back to full. So these are the only 3 items in the game that can give you lifesteal. There are no other items in the game that can give you lifesteal except some Arcana. So now let's put all 3 of these equipments in your build and see how much lifesteal we can get. So if we have all 3 of these items in our build, our lifesteal will be at 45%. So 45% is a lot because about half of the damage that you deal gets converted back to you as HP. So this gives you a lot of advantage when you are going 1v1 against other marksmen. You will be stealing a lot of life from them while also dealing a lot of damage. And one more very important thing that you should notice while using all 3 of these equipments is that you basically have 45% lifesteal, but you also have the ability of Bloodthirsty Bow which gives you 60% lifesteal. So in total you have 105%. See what happens now. We are dealing 354 damage to Veera and we are getting 354 HP back, which means we are getting 100% lifesteal if we use the ability for the 3 seconds. Now, there is one more equipment in the magic section that also gives you lifesteal, but that lifesteal is not based on physical damage, but it is based on magic damage. Now let's see what equipment it is. So Riya's Blessing is the only equipment in the game that can give you magic lifesteal. So magic lifesteal is different from normal lifesteal because you get life when you deal magic damage if you have magic lifesteal, whereas the first lifesteal that we were talking about gets lifesteal from physical damage. So as you can see, it's written Soul Devourer magic lifesteal plus 15%. So there is another passive that Riya's Blessing has. So if your life is very low, it will give you a shield, and I will explain it to you in another video. Right now let's talk about magic lifesteal. So as you can see here, when I used my first ability on Valheim, you saw green color numbers pop up below Liliana, and that is the lifesteal that she is getting for using the ability on Valheim. Since it specifically says magic lifesteal, this equipment cannot be used by marksmen but only by mages. So if we open the hero stats now, there is a particular section called magic lifesteal and we have 35% of it. So the equipment grants only 15%, but how do we have 35%? So now let's sell Riya's Blessing and see how much lifesteal we have. So we have sold it and see we have 10% magic lifesteal, and that 10% comes from the Arcana that I have for magic lifesteal. But if I buy Riya's Blessing, it's again at 35%. So if I sell it, it becomes 10%, and if I buy it, it becomes 35%. So that means that Riya's Blessing actually gives you 25% of magic lifesteal, and it's a typing mistake, and the info that is given in the game is wrong. It's not 15%, but it's actually 25%. So I hope that I have explained everything to you clearly about what lifesteal is and what equipments give you lifesteal. And now let me give you guys some tips on when to use these lifesteal items and when to not use, and on which heroes to use these items and on which heroes to not use these items. So one of the very common mistakes that I see a lot of new players do is that they use the beast on warriors such as Arthur. So you see that equipment gives you lifesteal, so you cannot just put that equipment in any hero and expect it to work. It doesn't work on heroes who deal very low physical damage. So Arthur's auto attack deal like 100 attack damage per hit. So if you have beast, you are only going to get 25 life every time you land an auto attack, so it won't work at all. So never use this beast on any of the warriors except Talon, because he deals a lot of damage and he needs the lifesteal. Other than that, never use these lifesteal equipments on warriors, even warriors such as Chi and Lubu. So Lubu basically has a lot of lifesteal whenever he uses his ult. So you don't need to add beast to his build to increase his lifesteal, because that is enough for him. You can build other better equipments on Lubu. So beast only works on marksmen who deal a lot of damage, and on other heroes such as tanks and warriors and assassins, you don't really need beast at all. And also, like I said before, don't equip more than one beast. So a lot of players do this mistake. They buy 2 beasts thinking that they'll get 50% lifesteal, but it doesn't work like that. Unique passive only works once, so having 2 beasts in your build won't change anything. One more important thing that you should know is that Bloodthirsty Bow is much better than beast, because in the late game, if you are going to a team fight and you are a marksman such as Lavelle, you can just go in and when your HP is low, just turn on the button and you will get 60% lifesteal, and you will be able to quickly bring your health back to full, because you will be dealing a lot of damage. So Bloodthirsty Bow is much better than beast right now, and that's why beast is not very popular. And magic lifesteal, that is the Riya's Blessing, can be used by most of the mages and get a lot of benefit, and especially on heroes such as L'Oreal, who will be going in and fighting multiple opponents, or mages like Talon, who will also be fighting multiple opponents. So on these 2 heroes, Riya's Blessing works very good because it will help them fight longer. So that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I hope you all found this video helpful, and if you did, do share it with your friends and leave a like down below in the video. It helps grow the channel a lot. And also, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel to show your support. And these Elendar clips are from one of my older videos which I posted like 6 months ago. So I'll just end the voiceover here. I hope you all have a very great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.